G'day, Cliffo here and welcome to this episode of Waving Green. I'm back in my home location after a very busy week at Phillip Island for the World Superbike and Australian Superbike Round 1 for 2024. We had quite a lot going on, particularly on the last day, where a lot had happened on track that made the marshals, the track marshals and the flag marshals, and indeed all the officials quite busy, particularly towards the end of Sunday. For those that have seen the footage on TV or through one of your streaming services, there was an episode in lap 5 of the Australian Superbike Championship race. I'll show you a clip now, courtesy of KO Sports and the Australian Superbike Series, proudly sponsored by My Bike Insurance and Motul. And then I'll come back and we'll have a chat about what happened.
And of the top 7 riders, that is the fastest lap for those riders on that last lap from Mike Jones.
Yeah, impressive by Mike Jones there to be able to do those laps, but Troy Herfoss is working his way through. He wants to try and beat Harry Voigt this time out if he can. He's giving it everything he can. You can be assured that throughout these races this weekend, the team will have been adjusting the suspension, working on the electronics on that bike. Every lap he does is learning. Remember, we've got to follow that. Is that Matt Walters?
Yep, I think that is Matt Walters on the exit of turn 2. Looks like the Newcastle Hino Aprilia has gone down. He rushes over to immediately turn the machine off. So we get
no.
That's a mechanical fault there with the Aprilia.
Yeah, let's hope it's, there is oil on the track. That's why he went down. There you go.
Yeah, so rear end out for Matt Walters and into the gravel trap.
So Matt Waters, number 12, running 14th, has blown something that's produced smoke coming around turn 1 all the way through turn 2, and then because of a coating of oil on his rear tyre ends up crashing out with a rather spectacular 180 into the gravel pit past the corner of turn 2. What's unbeknown to the marshals is that there is oil on track. The new surface is quite dark, and as you'll see from the track positions or the flag positions that were located, it was quite difficult. In fact, we couldn't even see it when we knew it was there. And here's where the flag positions were. Myself and Wes are located at flag post 1.8 right. As you'll see in this next clip, the flag post at 2.0 left, which is on the inside of the corner, is unoccupied. That's because there is one of the new LED panels. This is an issue that may have to be addressed when we're planning for track marshals and flag marshals to be located in the future. With the introduction of LED lights, the issue of not having somebody who might have been able to spot that oil on the inside of the corner may be a consideration. This is a great opportunity to evaluate exactly how we went, which is always a very healthy activity after any event. I'll go through a few principles that I've learned in life that might be able to reflect upon the use of red flag, and in particular the use of the lack of adhesion flag for instances like this. In reviewing this situation, I'll be using the Motorcycle Australia Marshal's Handbook in discussing the use of the red flag, and particularly the use of the lack of adhesion flag. The red flag is waved to stop a race or a practice session. It's only used on direction from the Clarker course. Therefore, flag marshals around the track will not have a red flag in their hand until such time as the instruction comes over the radio circuit that a red flag, all stations red flag. The red flag, once ordered over the radio, must be deployed immediately and maintained until such time as we are told to withdraw it. Alternatively, the red and yellow lack of adhesion or surface flag can be deployed by any flag marshal post if there is suspicion that there is risk of something on the track which causes a hazard to riders. This will not cause any disruption to the racing itself, but will alert riders that there is something they may need to be aware of, with the flag usually being deployed for 2 circuits of the track, the riders going around the circuit twice, so they can spot whatever the risk is on the first one, avoid it on the second, and then continue racing, having taken it into account for subsequent laps. That being noted, let's have a look at what actually occurred after the red flag. The lead riders, having come over Lukey Heights and around turn 11, don't see a red flag or a red light panel until after they are past the pit entry. They've now come onto the Gardiner Straight unaware exactly where the red flag event has occurred within the circuit.
It will be required to make sure that there's no fluid on the track there for the rest of the riders.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Matt. I'm not sure what went wrong with the Aprilia there, but yeah. Boy, I'll tell you, somebody that's been working their way forward, Cam Dunker though, he worked his way up into 7th just in front of Max Stauffer.
Yeah, well, it's been a weekend of Cameron Dunker just not really surprising anyone because he's doing the things that they thought he was going to do. Yep, it looks like there is significant fluid down there on the circuit.
Yeah, and it looks like the riders, I mean, you can just see that line there, and you can see them when they go through it, it literally just like slicks, and of course he crashed somewhere around here, I feel.
So as we can see, the lead riders are pointing out the oil on the track, and the other riders within that group are able to cross across it without any difficulty. Unfortunately, bike number 13, Ant West, is a bit further back, doesn't see these indications, and comes down.
Before there, actually.
Oh, there's someone's gone down.
Yeah.
No, that's Ant West.
It's West. That's going to be on that oil.
Hopefully they can get the addicted track machine back and get that sorted so that Westy can continue in this race because he has been absolutely flying.
Unbelievable.
When the red flag came out, he was in 4th position.
He should know better than that. He really should, because, I mean, he's in it.
I don't know about you, but I reckon the commentators might have been a bit harsh on Ant West there for not knowing where the risk was. A lack of adhesion flag out at from turn 1 through to the point where the original rider went down might have been a good idea given the circumstances, and giving further guidance from the Australian Motorcycling Australia Marshal's Handbook. The manual advises us to err on the side of caution, as it's better to assume that there is some sort of hazard on the track, particularly after an incident, than to display no flag at all. Given the amount of smoke that was coming from Matt Walters' bike all the way from turn 1 around to where he eventually crashed coming out of turn 2, we had a high index of suspicion that there may have been oil distributed onto the track. We tend to wait until the track marshals have declared whether the bike is clean or dirty, that is, upon inspection, whether or not there is any fluid in the belly pan. But given the amount of smoke coming out of the bike, it might have been better that a lack of adhesion flag was put out and declared to race control to warn other riders coming through the sector exactly where the hazard was. Further advice in the manual is that when a bike has hit the track, it's good practice to display the lack of adhesion until such time as the track surface itself can be checked and is confirmed as clear of any fluids or debris that may have resulted from that incident. Given the human nature that marshals would discuss red flag incidences as something interesting and exciting that's just occurred perhaps right in front of them, we need to continue to pay attention to what our sector's up to, the potential risks for riders coming through, and what we need to be doing about it. So with that thought in mind, I reflected back to my time working as a registered nurse in the Army to the Dr. ABC acronym and adapted it for the use here so that at least I, and hopefully might be helpful for viewers here, to think about what they're going to be doing after a red flag's gone out in their sector. So the standard acronym of Dr. ABCDE in first aid is used for danger, response, consideration of airway, breathing, circulation, defibrillation early, and then what the patient's exposure to the environment is and what can be done to assist in the pre-evacuation phase. In thinking of Dr. ABC within the red flag and lack of adhesion context, we still need to consider what the danger is to ourselves, the riders, and our fellow track marshals as they go out to respond to an incident. The immediate response is a red flag on command from race control, and in these incidents, because of the suspicion of oil on the track, the response may well have been a lack of adhesion flag. In any incidents, we need to maintain attention. It's very easy to get distracted by things happening in front of us, watching what the track marshals are up to, seeing what the rider's up to, and seeing where the other competitors are coming around the track. But we need to maintain attention to what our task as flag marshals is. That is, to keep an eye out for the other riders coming around and ensuring their safety. We need to be suspicious of such things as the oil on track, and certainly the amount of smoke that was coming out of Matt Walters' bike. We should have had a higher concern for potential oil on track, put out a lack of adhesion flag and called it into race control. They may well have gone ahead and changed the LED light, for instance, but certainly they would have had a greater awareness of what was going on in front of our flag post, and acted accordingly. In any incidents, under D, we don't leave the flag post unless the track has been cleared and we've been asked by a senior official perhaps to assist in the cleanup or to do the oil cleanup or something of that nature. But by and large, the golden rule is that flag marshals do not leave the flag post under any circumstances. Flag marshals, track marshals and other officials are essentially emergency services personnel when it all comes down to it. After an incident, it's extremely good practice to reflect upon our performance and evaluate the event for possible performance improvement. That's the aim of this video. I hope some pertinent points have been identified, and I've certainly learned from the incident to have a greater consideration for a lack of adhesion if we have a bike may well have crashed another corner away that may have caused some risk to riders in my sector. In closure, a lack of adhesion flag out at turn 1 may or may not have helped Ant West avoid the crash at turn 2, and he might have got through unscathed. As it turns out, he was unhurt, but it was an incident that could have been avoided nonetheless. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Follow me here on YouTube or on Facebook, and until the next time, keep the shiny side up.